Welcome to the 24th Leadership Minor Program Graduation 2021. My name is Christine Valur-Roholt, and I'm the Interim Director of the Leadership Minor Program. Along with all the staff and instructors and our three program partners, the Office of Student Affairs, the Office of Undergraduate Education, and the Faculty Steering Committee, we are thrilled to congratulate all of you graduates. We also are so happy to have those of you joining that have been a vital and supportive part of our graduates reaching this moment. We hope that you will take time to just give a hug or a holler to the person sitting next to you and celebrate all of the work, time, and energy that has gone into them completing this program. As we begin this evening, I'd like to first acknowledge the land. The land that I stand on in Northeast Minneapolis and that of the University of Minnesota Twin Cities campus is that of the Dakota people, the first people of Minnesota Makoche. The Dakota people have an ancient, historical, and spiritual connection to the land that was unjustly ceded by the treaties of 1837 and 1851. We acknowledge the complex and layered understanding and history of this land. We also understand that our work as a program, as learners and leaders, is to continue to interrogate and commit ourselves to actions and practices that address the injustices that are rooted in the colonization, the inequitable distribution of land, and the loss of ecology due to our lack of care. I also want to remind you of the Leadership Minor vision: to develop people who practice leadership in just, equitable, and sustainable ways. As we think about this past year and all that the pandemic has illuminated in terms of the inequities in our systems that we're part of, inequities around race and health and housing and gender and age and climate, education, and the list goes on. It reminds me how important it is for you to have a vision that guides your work. I encourage you to take this vision with you as you work to move communities from surviving to thriving. May your journey be centered in this vision. I also want to offer 3 questions to take on your journey. I rarely have a lot of advice to give, but I usually do have a lot of questions. My first question is, what and who will you center? I've thought about this one almost every day, not just in my work as a leader, but as my work as a parent, as a neighbor, as a person in the community, in public health. And I want to encourage you to really push yourself to move where you center. In order for us to do work that's meaningful and to be active change makers, it is going to require us to change and move the circle of our own understanding. And that's going to require a shift in your center. The second question comes from Stacey Abrams, and in her book, Leading from the Outside, which I read a few months ago, and I would encourage you to read as well. She talks about, in chapter 3, ambitions, and she asks the question, what is your ambition and why? And it got me really thinking about that word ambition and what does it mean? So I wanted to share with you her definition of ambition. Ambition should be more than a title or position. I know that sounds familiar. Knowing the real reason for your ambitions lets you know if another path will get you there. At its most complex, ambition should be an ambition of the soul, not simply a job, but a disquiet that requires you to take action. When I read about this, it really excited me. I love that idea of as an ambition being an animation of your soul that requires you to disquiet something within yourself. May your journey be full of moments that disquiet you, that disrupt your center. And the third question comes from a conversation that happened between Oprah Winfrey and Maya Angelou about legacy. For so long, I thought about legacy as something that happens at the end of my life, that I think about towards the end of my life. But rather, Maya Angelou pushed me to reimagine what that might look like. And she shared with Oprah Winfrey this thought: you have no idea what your legacy will be. Your legacy is what you do every day. Your legacy is every life you have ever touched, every person whose life was moved or not. It is every person you have harmed or helped. That is your legacy. What Maya Angelou proposed was that our legacy is something that is both our past, our present, and our future. And it got me thinking that our legacy is beyond ourself, that we have the ability to create a collective legacy, something that we could not do alone. So I ask you, as I close out this moment, what is your legacy? As you continue on your journey, know that we are walking with you, and that we hope that you'll take the learnings and the practices and ideas that you've gathered while being at the University of Minnesota and in the Leadership Minor program and apply them in all the spaces that you're showing up. And that you do that with just, equitable, and sustainable practices in mind. But most importantly, lead with curiosity, lead with questions, and lead with love. Congratulations. We are so excited for the next part of your journey.
I've been asked to do a short introduction for our graduation speaker this year, who happens to be Jael Kurandi. Now, I've had the extraordinary pleasure of working with Jael since her first year on campus, and what a journey it's been. But I didn't think that my voice should be the only one trying to do justice to this incredible soul. So I asked a couple of her peers who work with her in the office, and this is what they had to say. One of them said, she's both kind and urgent, with a presence both gentle and inspiringly fierce. And another said, she comes in with curiosity and asks real questions that make us think. And I love hearing what she has to say next. That's a leader. That's how she shows up. Someone who's rooted in the present with her eye on the future, working towards change with compassion. I can't tell you what it's meant to me to work with Jael during her undergraduate career. Her presence will leave an indelible mark on this campus, on this community, and on my heart. I give you Jael Kurandi.
Good evening, Leadership Minor graduates. When we were growing up, the word leader felt extremely defined for us by people other than us. We were often told that those that were destined to be leaders were the ones at the front of the room, those who carried an undefined amount of charisma, were the loudest, or held certain identities. The Leadership Minor changed that. We were given a new perspective, a breath of fresh air. We were taught that our leadership and the ways in which we chose to show it was always inside us. We learned that leading actually involves followership, that when we took the time to understand the world around us, we simultaneously held the possibility to change it. The time you have spent in your Leadership Minor classrooms and in your various communities has been invaluable. Never forget how you were encouraged to think critically and the technical versus adaptive challenges you have thought through. Wherever you go in this world, this will be needed. Today, as graduates of this leadership minor, you hold a gift in your minds. You have the tools to dismantle the systems in our world and the ways in which they operate. You have the key to compassion and grace and the discretion on when to use it. You have the competency to recognize discrimination, call it out, and do something about it. For some of you, you may have entered the leadership minor with some understanding of our complex world, but for all of us, we leave with a voluntary duty to transform it and a commitment to do better. We leave with the urgency to ask better of our leaders, ourselves. I reject the notion that we're entering the real world. We've been living in it. For so many of you, the world has not been supportive of your success. But today, as you graduate from this minor and you work towards the attainment of your degree, you are not only breaking barriers, you are shattering them. Your realities were acknowledged during the minor and have always been realized by you and your community. Your realities are valid, and so are your dreams. As we go forth in this world, my hope is that others around us will see us and hear us. Beyond this hope, I hope that we do that for others. So to all of you, I hear you and I see you. For anyone who has been told that college wasn't for you, it is. For anyone who didn't feel like the perfect university student, there is no such thing. Your achievement today is another example of your grit, dedication, and willingness to place yourself in opportunities of growth. Angela Davis said, "I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept." What is it that you can no longer accept? What in this world have you seen intolerable for you and your communities? Find those things, both big and small, and change them. Yes, easier said than done, but you are more than prepared. Take the risk, challenge the status quo, and defy norms. Precedent is not indicative of progress. Disrupt history to make your own. Use the relationship capital that you have worked to build on behalf of the other. The relationships you have built here and those you will build in the future are powerful enough to change minds, shift the tides, and change perspective. So get the chairs out of the rows and put them in a circle. Look at the world through your eyes, not the lens society wants you to see. Take the time to see others for who they are. Be present with them in the best way you can. Seek, create, and build community wherever you go. Come in right, meaning exactly that. Know who you are, what spaces you occupy before you enter spaces. As you elevate in your leadership roles, bring others to the table, invest in the success of those around you, and uplift the voices that are often not heard. Engage in hard, courageous conversations, ones that people often deem as impossible, because according to Muhammad Ali, impossible is a dare. Finally, follow the joy, your joy. Find life-giving opportunities and focus on them. And maybe if you can't find them, create them. Take time to practice gratitude and appreciation towards those around you and yourself. Find time to pause and prioritize you. You started off this minor understanding of your own personal leadership, and then you moved to your community, your field, and finally the world. One day we will leave these halls and we may struggle to find our foothold, but we remain confident in the lessons that we have learned here. Lessons of getting on the balcony, the meaning of Ubuntu, and the translation of global issues. Apply these lessons to all that you can, because you are not just a leader, you're a change maker. Let's change this world together. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our previous speakers for their wonderful thoughts. It's almost time to honor our terrific graduates. I send healthy and safe thoughts and wishes to all those who are watching. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Maggie Harris. I'm the level lead for the Global Capstone, and while I truly love all of our courses, teaching the Global Capstone class is extra special for me and for all of our level instructors. Yes, it is a lot of research. That's part of the great power of the Capstone course. Through your fantastic work on your projects, you aimed to unearth and shine light on possibility in the world. You looked well beyond your immediate community to understand the gifts, challenges, interconnectedness, and chasms that exist in the realm of globalization and global citizenship. These are important practices. all put into even more poignant, powerful, and apropos context with our current global crises, and I use the plural form of that word intentionally. There is much work to be done. As you move beyond the minor, as you become our colleagues and not our students, we have some final thoughts for you. You will be working to find your place. And now you're doing so in a time and in a world that may be really daunting. You've had to be incredibly adaptive humans for well over a year. However, you managed it beautifully. You tenaciously worked to adapt, learn, connect, and create amidst local, national, and global turmoil and uncertainty with formats and modalities constantly shifting. Look at what you've done. It's evidence that you can do difficult things. Draw on this accomplishment when you need a reminder of your strength. You are strong. And when in doubt, follow the joy. Our world is full of complex context in the best of times. Historical and modern oppression, inequities, and atrocities abound, and always have. These are even more uncertain times, but perhaps where we are right now is the leverage point within a system that can be changed, bettered, reframed, rebuilt to better serve everyone. You are a part of transforming hope into solidarity and action, and you have the tools to do it thoughtfully and equitably. For those of you watching who don't know, our students spent this semester researching a global issue in a variety of local and global contexts in order to be able to understand and map the system in which the issue exists. From there, they analyzed opportunities for engagement to make meaningful change and move the needle on an issue that would mitigate harm and help heal even a small part of a community in important ways. Their research was extensive, and their engagement considerations were justice-oriented and culturally tuned. We are so very proud of their work. And enough from me for now. Let's proceed with honoring you graduates and your work as you prepare to move beyond the leadership minor experience into new contexts in new ways. Let's celebrate you. That's why we're all here. Though it is a loss at not being able to do this all in person, we're glad to be able to honor you in this way. We will be presenting our graduates by the instructor and class they took, and we have a fun surprise at the end, so we recommend sticking around. Each instructor will introduce their own classes. Watch for your friends and family, cheer, comment in chats and text and group me's or however you're gathering to watch this. You know how to connect in community in powerful and unique ways. Celebrate with us.
Hi, I'm David.
And I'm Laura, and we were lucky enough to be the teaching team for the Global Capstone class last summer.
Our class had so much emotion to it. George Floyd was literally killed 1 week after class started. We had students call in on Zoom from protest. We had students wondering, did we pick these readings especially for what is going on right now?
But we didn't. Turning to one another is always relevant, and indeed it was a necessary revolution. And through it all, our leaders were amazing. We had amazing conversations, amazing projects, and amazing people.
We certainly did. So please congratulate the class from summer 2020.
I'd like to introduce you to the students I worked with during the fall semester of 2020 and are now our current leadership minor graduates. My class the fall semester was part of the group experimenting with how to do something online or in a hybrid way that had always been done in person before for the entirety of the semester. And while we navigated that and adapted over time, I can say that one of the things that we proved with our experience as a class in the fall is that meaningful connection, intentional engagement, and deeper learning is possible no matter what. When the people in the community, as these students did, choose to show up, be present, be courageous, and be open to learn and speak and continue to transform and grow. I am happy to introduce you to my fall 2020 Leadership Minor Graduate class.
Dear students, dear friends, how incredibly wonderful and strange is to be in this place of graduation and to wish you the graduation via online recording while being so far away again from you. We came to know each other in the late Croatian hours and the midday of in the United States over the long fall and early winter of 2020, and it'll stay in my memory how committed, how energized or energetic, and how creative you were in my class, and that creative force has really kept us moving throughout a very difficult semester. It was our second semester during the pandemic, and learning was really difficult, but it was also really energized and creative, as I said. And thank you for that force. And I'm just going to say, may the force be with you wherever you walk, but please do walk with humility and with a sense of justice.
Our phenomenal LMI Tamara and I agree that our fall 2020 class was very special. 27 students engaged in a fully online blended format with tons of group work, and were able to really connect as a cohort. Their research projects were phenomenal, and it was so rewarding to learn about these powerfully passionate and brilliant students. Such a joy to work with. I give you our fall 2020 students. Congratulations. My best piece of advice is there is a lot of pressure to seize every opportunity and lean into everything, but it's okay to say no. It gives more power, meaning, and space to the work that you say yes to. Sure, it may disappoint some people, but you have the skills to manage that well. Balance matters.
Think about a transition that you've been through and what made you feel supported and successful in that transition. Okay, do that. That's my advice. And a reflection assignment for you.
What is my best piece of advice? A journey of thousands of miles begins with a small step. Thus, achieving the greatest by persistently doing the smallest.
What is my best piece of advice? My best piece of advice for our leadership minor graduates is to remember your worth and to take up space in the places you move forward to after graduation with your ideas, your energy, and your talent, because you have a lot to bring to the table.
Hi, graduates. Best advice. Okay, I'm going to say that the best advice I was ever given is to understand that the shortest point is from A to B is the straight line, but that's not the way we grow. That's not the way we live. And it's certainly not the way we make our way in the world. So get ready for some crooked lines, and that's going to be okay.
As you continue on your journey as a leader, there will be moments of chasing things never to be caught, spinning in circles, going nowhere, feeling like you're on a downward slide or barely hanging in there. You might even have a hard time balancing all you've got. Remember, we all need to pause, take time to nourish our spirits, and engage in the power of play.
So my best piece of advice is to follow the path of justice, connectedness, and creative awareness of the world you live in and you walk on. And as you walk, please always be aware of the shoes you're wearing. Thank you for all the beautiful energies that you brought to me, to my life, and to my teaching. And I wish you all the best.
My best advice for you is read lots of fiction. It's good for your imagination. And try out virtual reality tech. It's fun.
My piece of advice is Teddy Roosevelt said, "Comparison is the thief of joy." And that really stuck with me. I think it can be used as a piece of advice for in moments when we are feeling compared or comparing ourselves to others, to see if we can try to see the joy, try to see the happiness of others, and try to see and remember our own happiness as well.
My best piece of advice. What is my best piece of advice? There. Here it is. Leadership is an art. It takes a lot of practice. There's a huge responsibility. My advice? The learning never stops, but never stop practicing and never stop asking good questions. Congratulations.
My best piece of advice for new grads. Trust yourself that you'll figure it out. It's going to be a lot of experimentation. I'm not even going to call it failure, but you're going to figure out what works best for you and then do what works for you, not what is most popular.
I am happy to introduce to you the students I worked with in the spring of 2021 and some of our most current leadership minor graduates. I think that the spring semester can be one of endurance in any year, in a year where we have all been adapting to a way that we didn't want to adapt to necessarily for a long time. That endurance can feel even more palpable. And what I really enjoy and respect and admire about this group of students is their tenacity and their willingness to continue to show up and learn. We've had meaningful conversation. We have had breakthrough moments. We have shared emotion. We have shared laughter, and we have shared pieces of ourselves, our stories with each other, and again, proven that engagement and community is possible, even in these spaces, virtually and online and hybrid, that we aren't necessarily accustomed to. Really proud of these students, the spring students of 2021.
Dear students, dear friends, I wish you a happy graduation. We came all the way here together after muddling through the third of the pandemic semesters, and we have been muddling through critical conversations, which I hope you will hold tightly as you walk further in life. I am grateful for our Friday gatherings, for the intimacy we created, for the supportive environment, for the creative energies that sustained us and really colored our learning experiences. I have really enjoyed your curiosities and all the energies you brought in, and I'm really wishing you a wonderful journey in life. And I wish you, as I said to my other students, to walk the life with humility and with a sense of justice. Thank you. I'm grateful for knowing you.
our amazing LMI Sierra, and I agree that our spring 2021 class was such a special teaching and learning experience. In a blended online format, we engaged in deep conversations, incredibly professional project work, and established some cherished connections. They truly practiced the effort of connection and content, which led to excellent process and product. Congratulations to these very special humans. We're so proud of you.
Hi, it's David. There was a section of the capstone class that wanted to meet in person. So every Tuesday and Thursday, my teaching partner, Holly McGinn, and I put on our face masks and we met with this amazing group. The class was small, but the ideas were not, and the engagement and the projects were fabulous. So congratulations, Section 4. You were the best.
Hello, I'm Bob McMaster, the Vice Provost and Dean of Undergraduate Education in the Office of Undergraduate Education. I wanted to congratulate all of you for completing the Leadership Minor and becoming graduates of this great program. The Leadership Minor is one of our undergraduate signature programs and one of our most successful minors here at the University of Minnesota. Thousands of students have completed this minor over the last decade, and you're one of our very successful graduates. By completing this minor, you've enhanced your undergraduate degree here at the University of Minnesota and are well prepared for a leadership role in whatever path you choose moving forward. So again, congratulations and the very best of luck in your path forward. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, now it's time to celebrate. We want to take a moment for you to put on your virtual graduation cap. So how you do this is navigate to the bottom left of your screen where it has the video icon. Click that little up arrow and then choose filter. And then if you scroll down a little bit, you'll find the graduation cap.
As we are discussing all of your accomplishments and all of your dreams to come, we'd like to give you a moment to reflect on your why. We'll give you some time now to grab a piece of paper and a pen nearby.
Once you have your pen and paper, we would like for you to reflect on some challenges that you have faced in your time as a student or challenges you might be anticipating in the years to come. Write down some of these things with your piece of paper and pen.
Think about what has gotten you through these challenges, what brought you to them in the first place, and the growth that you have experienced because of them. Think about the reasons you get up every morning, why you have chosen this path so far, and why you're looking forward to the days to come. What is that thing that keeps you going? What do you have passion for? Where do you find the meaning in the life that you live? Embrace your why.
When you're ready, join us in ripping up these pieces of paper. Tear it into many small pieces.
Keep going.
In honor of everything you have been through, of being here today, and of all the things to come, we would like to celebrate you with confetti. What you have written on this paper is your truth, and the confetti has turned it into the beautiful things of life that are important to you. Today we celebrate this, your why. The challenges of life shape your strength and make the joys sweeter. They are a part of who you are, and it's important to know that all of who you are, the challenges and the joys, are worthy of celebration.
So, to the graduating leaders of 2020 and 2021, let's celebrate this by throwing your confetti in the air. And make sure to smile as we might take some screenshots.
Congratulations!
My dear friends, we have all enjoyed walking with you these last few years. We are grateful to have come to know you, and it is with great pride and some sorrow that we tell you it is time for you to leave us now. But that is how it should be, and you are ready. We hope you have come to see yourself as we see you, full of knowledge, full of compassion, full of gifts. Everything you need for your journey you have, in abundance. You take it with you, and it will be there when you need it. Now, that doesn't mean that your path will be easy. There will be times when you feel you are walking alone, and the stress and the ambiguity, the heaviness of the insensitivity and injustice might start to close in on you. You may wonder in this isolation and ask, if you believe what I believe, how will I know how to find you? So look. Look for the lights that serve as beacons for you. Seek those who believe in the power of collaboration and connection. Find those who hope in the possibility of a world with less hate and less inequity. Join those who know our communities are strongest when everyone is seen, and everyone is heard, and everyone is valued. And, of course, look for joy, your joy, and when you see it, follow it. And as you go, be kind to yourself and practice self-love. You can choose rest. You can say to the world and your people in it, I care for you deeply, but I can't today. Tomorrow, I hope to be better. There are a lot of things that need to be burned down in our world. You are not one of them. Do not get frustrated if your plans and goals and visions for yourself do not seem to be coming true for you at first. It is hard to be patient, but perhaps they are just not coming true for you yet. We don't live our whole lives all at once. And know this, sometimes it is other people who feel like they are walking in darkness. Maybe they were waiting for you, and you can be the beacon. You can be the one who shows kindness, who knows that vulnerability and empathy and humility are signs of strength. You can be the one who says, please walk with me, for if we want to go far, we must go together. Let your light shine. So, yes, here we are celebrating this moment with you, celebrating the fact that you have graduated, but also celebrating that each of you has had your own journey, and in that journey you have faced disruption and uncertainty and hardship, and you are still here as your authentic selves. And we don't just celebrate that, we honor it. So, go now to your next moments, knowing that you will no doubt face uncertainty and hardship again, but you will know how to navigate it because you have navigated it before. Look for the lights. Be the beacon. Yes, we loved having you here, but it is time for you to go. Why? Because you are magical and innovative, and you are compassionate and empathetic, and you are brilliant and badass, which might be exactly what this world needs right now. That's why.